Hey friends, I'm back with new findings about what's happening in Thailand. I keep tracking this situation, and honestly, what I'm seeing right now is absolutely mind-blowing. Just recently, literally months ago, Thai authorities were betting everything on tourists from India and Malaysia. Mass tourism, cheap packages, high-volume strategy. They wanted millions of budget travelers flooding in. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the entire angle shifts. Thai authorities announced something completely different, and the transformation is happening faster than anyone expected. Let me walk you through what I've discovered. In early 2025, Thailand held a massive tourism forum with over 1,000 delegates. And there, they introduced a completely new concept. Value is the new volume. That's their official slogan now. The government allocated 4.5 billion baht to implement 22 strategic initiatives, and every single one of them points away from mass tourism toward luxury and wellness. The Minister of Tourism literally said, "Tourism is no longer a race for numbers. Trust, value, and inclusivity come first now." Notice what's missing? Any mention of affordability. Any mention of the budget travelers who built Thailand's tourism industry. Now let me show you the numbers that explain what's really happening. According to Thailand's official projections, health tourism revenue in 2025 is estimated at over 124 billion baht. The wellness and medical tourism sectors are projected to grow faster than the mass market segment. Thailand's luxury tourism market reached $11.1 billion in 2024, with projections climbing to 19.3 billion by 2030. In the first 4 months of 2025, foreign tourist arrivals dropped 0.26% to 12.09 million visitors. But here's the twist. Tourism revenue actually increased by 5.24% to 576.85 billion baht. Fewer tourists, way more money per person. That's not an accident. That's deliberate policy. Industry experts at the Tourism Forum introduced this concept called JOMO, joy of missing out. Wealthy travelers don't want bucket list experiences anymore. They want disconnection, private pool villas, longevity programs. Thailand is building infrastructure specifically for this demographic. And that demographic doesn't want to see certain types of street activities when they're staying at their 5-star wellness resort. Now, here's where things get really interesting, especially when it comes to Pattaya. I've been keeping an eye on Beach Road throughout 2025, and what's happening there says a lot about the direction Thailand is taking. Beach Road has long been famous for its freelancers standing along the waterfront, offering their services to passing tourists. And throughout the summer and fall of 2025, you could still see plenty of them waiting there. But the authorities are clearly not comfortable with this scene. The crackdowns on Beach Road aren't primarily targeting bars, they're going after the freelancers working the street. Officials want to clean up the waterfront image because it conflicts directly with their new vision of family-friendly premium tourism. When you're trying to attract wealthy families and wellness tourists, having freelancers openly working Beach Road creates exactly the image problem Thailand is trying to eliminate. Throughout 2025, bar owners have reported growing pressure from authorities. It's not that raids are happening every day across the city, but enforcement has clearly intensified compared to previous years. Expats say the atmosphere in entertainment venues has changed, the mood just isn't what it used to be. Walking Street, once the heart of Pattaya's nightlife, has seen a wave of closures. The Boss Club shut down for good, and dozens of other establishments followed throughout the year. As part of the new regulations introduced in October 2025, several areas that once quietly tolerated nightlife venues have been officially removed from Pattaya's designated entertainment zones. What used to be gray areas are now turning black and white, and that shift is making business increasingly risky. Bars that once operated with a nod and a handshake are suddenly finding themselves on the wrong side of the law. For many long-time owners, it feels less like regulation and more like being pushed out. But the real story is Beach Road and what it represents. As long as freelancers are still working the street in plain sight, Thailand will struggle to reinvent itself as the premium, family-friendly destination it wants to be. That familiar scene, women waiting along the waterfront, stands in stark contrast to the glossy new vision. Branded residences worth 191 billion baht, Michelin-starred restaurants, and high-end wellness retreats. Yet the shift may not mean the industry disappears altogether. Increasingly, These same services are moving online to dating and friendship platforms like Thai Friendly and similar apps, where the boundaries between companionship and commerce are less visible, but just as real. The Thai baht, surging to all-time highs, reinforces this strategy. Europeans, Russians, and British visitors are complaining Thailand is no longer affordable. What used to be a 2-week vacation barely covers 10 days now. And authorities aren't concerned because expensive Thailand naturally filters out budget tourists who are coming specifically for cheap entertainment. Here's something most people don't realize. Thailand's shadow economy has long relied on its adult entertainment industry. Some older estimates suggested it might account for as much as 10% of the country's GDP, though experts now believe the real figure is likely far lower. Still, hundreds of thousands of Thais make their living in this sector, directly or indirectly. The freelance scene on Beach Road is part of that ecosystem. You can't eliminate this without massive economic and social consequences. Thai officials have been talking about eliminating the sex tourism image since 2018, when the Prime Minister publicly declared Thailand needed to change its reputation. But what's different in 2025 is they're actually implementing concrete changes. The pressure on Beach Road freelancers, the regulatory environment for bars, the economic shifts, it's all part of the same coordinated strategy. I've been analyzing what this shift means for different tourist demographics. For years, Indian visitors arrived in large numbers, drawn by affordability and by forms of nightlife that are largely unavailable back home. In India, social norms, caste boundaries, and legal restrictions all limit open expressions of sexuality. So Thailand's permissive atmosphere offered a kind of freedom that couldn't easily be found elsewhere. If the country now pivots fully toward family-friendly luxury tourism, that particular market segment will inevitably shrink. The same goes for budget European backpackers and for single male travelers, who once made up a significant share of Pattaya's visitor base. Thailand's strategy document says they want to be among the top 10 tourism economies in the world by 2026, but based on value, not volume. 62 Thai properties made it into the prestigious 2025 Michelin Key selection. The wellness sector is worth 1.2 billion baht annually, with explosive growth projected. Bangkok is attracting ultra-wealthy travelers who want regenerative wellness centers and longevity tourism. They're introducing branded residences, community-based tourism, regional storytelling, cultural routes, gastronomic trails, nature and wellness trips. Everything is designed for high-spending travelers who want cultural experiences and wellness programs, not the kind of entertainment that Beach Road freelancers represent. They're also introducing a tourist fee by 2025. Higher rates for air arrivals, lower for land and sea. Collected funds will develop infrastructure and improve safety. It's another mechanism to filter out budget tourists and attract premium travelers. The transformation extends to how different areas are being positioned. Walking Street in Pattaya has been given a high-tech facelift, cutting-edge 3D LED signage, animations in 6 languages, and even a smiling dolphin mascot. The redesign is part of the campaign, Enjoy Pattaya, every day, all lifestyles, no limits. But there's an irony beneath the marketing gloss. The very lifestyles that once defined Pattaya, the budget party crowd, the freelancers on Beach Road, are being quietly squeezed out by rising costs and tighter regulations. And here lies a deeper paradox. Thailand's tourism boom was built on authenticity, on being affordable, raw, and a little unpredictable. That rough-edged charm made it unique. Now, in chasing luxury credentials, Thailand risks becoming just another polished, but soulless destination, indistinguishable from Dubai, Singapore, or even Kuala Lumpur. The Wild West atmosphere of Walking Street, the casual vibe of Beach Road bars, the legendary nightlife zones, all of it is being sanitized, upgraded, and repositioned for different clientele. Wealthy Chinese families, European wellness seekers, American medical tourists. These are Thailand's new target demographics. The experiment with cheap mass tourism is officially over. For years, Thailand bet on volume cheap flights, cheap rooms, and cheap entertainment. That model filled beaches and bars, but it also stretched infrastructure, strained local communities, and delivered little long-term value. Now, the government seems to have recognized that chasing low-spending visitors was a dead end. The new strategy aims higher, fewer tourists, more revenue, and a cleaner global image. Whether it succeeds or fails, will shape the future of one of Asia's most iconic destinations. If you've been thinking about experiencing old Pattaya, time is running out. Bars are closing, raids are frequent, regulations are tightening, Beach Road is transforming. Walking Street is being sanitized. The government has made it absolutely clear they don't want you unless you're ready to spend serious money on wellness retreats and luxury experiences. The era of cheap thrills in Thailand is ending. The era of expensive zen is beginning. Millions of travelers worldwide will have to find somewhere new for affordable tropical nightlife. Thailand has made its choice. Quality over quantity, luxury over liberty, prestige over parties, family-friendly over adult entertainment. Will it work? Or will Thailand realize too late that you can't simply flip a switch on decades of established culture without triggering massive consequences? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, the country is changing fast. The bar raids, the pressure on Beach Road, the closures along Walking Street all point in the same direction. The transformation isn't theoretical anymore. It's real, it's underway, and it may well be irreversible. The world is watching this experiment. If Thailand succeeds, it could redefine what tourism means in Southeast Asia. If it fails, it'll stand as a warning about the cost of abandoning your core identity. Either way, we're witnessing history, the death of one Thailand and the birth of another. What do you think? Are the frequent bar raids and new restrictions justified, or is the country destroying what made it special in the first place? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into how Thailand is changing before our eyes. Thanks for watching.